15 ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. Everybody's had the term Christmas in July. But if there really is such a thing as Christmas in July, then how come there's no Thanksgiving in June, or Kwanzaa in August, or Hanukkah in September, which, kicks off the fall season? Really, no matter when you do your holiday entertaining, even if it's just an excuse to escape the summer heat wave at home, you're bound to run into a few common kitchen problems that, if left unchecked, could pile up one by one, thus ruining your dinner and making you feel like this. There will be no more of that, because I got quite a magical cookbook for you today. Cooks Illustrated's all-time best holiday entertaining. And you know Cooks Illustrated, right? Basically the precursor to America's Test Kitchen, but really, they're the same family, and you know me. I never grow tired of buying a Cooks Illustrated cookbook of any kind. This one was purchased for $5.99 from Woodbine Blue Thrift Store in Patterson, and really should be your holiday entertaining playbook 24/7, 365. Why? Because in the introductory chapter, the holiday playbook itself, they give you some make-ahead information for a good many recipes in here, 3 weeks ahead to start you off on the right foot, and on the big day when it all comes down to the 11th hour. Because as they say, no great feast ever materialized in a single afternoon, or in this case, in a single summer weekend. They also give you 9 essential holiday equipment pieces for your kitchen, which also double as essential equipment for special occasions throughout the rest of the year, because they refuse to break the bank on pieces they use only a few times a year. So they give you some common sense equipment recommendations like this roasting pan, a slicing knife, and a pie server, among other things. Next up, Holiday Hosting 911, a host of quick and easy solutions to common kitchen crises, like expanding your counter space, warming up your dinner plates, and some clever tricks for impressive presentations, plus their recommendations for their favorite leftover containers for yourself and your guests. No great feast begins without some spirits, and they give you a few luscious libations, such as mulled wine, fireside mulled cider, eggnog, and champagne punch. And the serving suggestions here, man, do they vary. We got recipes that serve 8 all the way to recipes that serve 20 to 25. I would rather ignore the eggnog because while I do believe in Christmas in July, I'm not gonna go all Charles Dickens on this. Keep it light. And we don't mean nutritionally light. It's still technically a holiday celebration, so you gotta have a little bit of decadence. 4 drinks in here for any holiday occasion. And that brings us to the first of 4 chapters here. The food chapters in here are your starters, your centerpieces, your sides, and your desserts. We begin with Brussels sprout salad with warm bacon vinaigrette. I was gonna highlight another salad actually on the previous page here, which is a little more lighter, but you know what? Brussels sprouts, add bacon. If this doesn't get the kiddos to eat those greens, what the heck will? That'll serve 8 to 10 and take you 45 minutes. Next up in the centerpieces, we have here lobster fettuccine with fennel and tarragon. That'll serve 8 to 10 and again take you 45 minutes. There are also make-ahead instructions that are in individual side boxes like this one here to streamline some of the recipe prep. And of course, no ATK cookbook is complete without the signature safety cushion, Why This Recipe Works, which summarizes the development and testing process. They make the mistakes, so you don't have to. I really don't believe in serving a big roast for Christmas in July because you still gotta keep it somewhat light in terms of portions and in terms of the size of your meal. But if you must insist, then how about this? An herb-stuffed pork loin. And that'll take you 2 hours and 30 minutes to whip up. That serves 8. Plus, you gotta reserve an hour for salting because this would be a fairly flavorful roast. There's also a recipe here for porchetta, which almost made the cut, but again, I want to keep it somewhat light. Next up, in the side recipes, we have here asparagus with lemon salad vinaigrette, which will serve 6 to 8 and take you 15 minutes to whip up. And finally, for desserts, and again, if this doesn't get the kids to eat those greens, what the heck will? Maybe some delicious incentive. The flourless chocolate cake. Display that at the very beginning, and maybe it will motivate the kids just enough to finish those greens. This flourless chocolate cake will serve 10 to 12 and take you an hour and a half to do, plus 7 hours for cooling and chilling. It's rich with deep, intense chocolate flavor. No flour to mold any bit of it. We got vegetarian recipes in here for those who want some vegetarian pieces to go along with their meal, because you want to make everybody feel welcome. And there's a photograph for every recipe in here, which is also nice. We're talking big main, meaty roasts, decadent side dishes, light side dishes, and a measly amount of them, but no less delicious sounding and looking. Breads, cookies, cakes, the works. Somebody states making edible food gifts. Bring the holidays home with guaranteed success. Entertaining is no small feat, requiring even the most seasoned home cook to step up with meals that impress. In this timeless collection, Cooks Illustrated gathered 75 of their best dishes from over 20 years of testing to help you confidently pull off a holiday meal to remember. Starters, centerpieces, sample sides, and sweet endings. Those are your recipe chapters in here, and there really is a recipe for anyone, anytime somebody wants to pull off a special occasion feast. $22.95 in the US, $29.95 in Canada. Those are your retail prices. I say text-wise, photography-wise, this is holiday-ish, meaning that they're not excessive on a holiday presentation in terms of, you know, the photographs and the writer's recipe work sections and the introduction and all that. It's holiday-ish, because even if you buy this during the summer or maybe even the spring, it's still gonna work. And I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 claps. Nowhere in this cookbook do they mention any of the recipes being delicious. It's always got to be a higher adjective than that, because when it comes to holiday entertaining, delicious just doesn't pass muster. It's kind of a pet peeve for me if they don't use the word delicious in any cookbook. That's why they get slightly dinged. But you know what? This cookbook is so meticulous, so delicious, so holiday-ish, and so fun, and above all, useful. Even a witch could use it.
I would argue if I could think of another option.
There is no option. Buy this book. It's got more than enough secrets from America's foremost food testers and tasters to take you out of the shadows and into the spotlight. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.